Perfect. All right, you guys, welcome to our training today. I'm really excited about this one. We've been updating some of our trainings we did like a year ago when we were a brand new baby infant team and kind of coming at them now with a year of perspective and experience and growth, and also spotlighting our up and coming, our up and coming newer leaders, and also spotlighting our best practices, right? We've been able to battle test, for lack of a better word, some of these best practices in terms of how we've built, how we've grown, how we lead, how we operate here in this space. I know a lot of people have come over from other companies, and if I've learned anything in the last year, it's that what used to work does not necessarily work here. What used to work well, and that was in the case. That's always been the case. Like what used to work might not work now, and maybe it will work again someday in the future. But what um what I've seen here, and from my unique perspective as the leader of this team, is that I've gotten to see people come in and approach this business and approach their launching and their growth in such unique and amazing ways. And it's no one way works for everyone, and it's not like a cookie cutter rinse and repeat. You have to do it this way. It's not like a my way or the highway. There's really so much customizable components to this. And so today's training is going to specifically talk through how to launch and like how to launch your business. And so what I want you to know that is, I see in the chat, we've got a lot of people who are literally brand new, which is so exciting. And then some people who are newish still. And I know a lot of people have been around for various lengths in the last year. So this training is for any of you, whether you're brand new or you've been around for a long time. You can relaunch at any place at any point in any moment in time. What I wanted to really express, though, is that it's not like a one drop in the bucket. It's not like a moment in time you decide to launch. This business, this launch kind of path, path and trajectory is really a 3 to 6 to 9 to 12 month process. And so I want you to approach it like that, especially if you've been around for a minute and you're like, well, I missed that boat. No, you didn't. You get to try and do this again and again. And every time you kind of relaunch or expand your launch and expand your efforts, you're going to see more depth, more impact, more ease. Okay. And so what we're going to talk a little bit about today is some of these specific ways, these out of the box ways. And so I hope you have a notebook here handy. I hope you can take notes. I hope you're working from your computer. You can really turn on your cameras and be interactive with us here. But it really is about that destination, about looking ahead as to terms of where you want your business to be in the next year, 3 years, 5 years. Because it isn't about what happens in the next month. I mean, those activities and those behaviors will compound and grow. But it is about like that long game, about where you're wanting to grow, and you're laying those building blocks. You're laying that scaffolding now to help move you down that road. So, the long game, like launching is like, I think of launching boldly and launching strong as having like a three-armed approach. First of it is the mindset, and you'll find like really anything in this in being a business owner and being an entrepreneur really comes down to the mindset that you have. And that is just like we would train a bicep or train your glutes or train your abs or any other muscle. I believe mindset is a muscle you have to train and finesse as well and be intentional about. We do that a lot with personal development, with training calls like this, with getting out of our comfort zone, with taking big swings. But it's also having that mindset of that leader, that business owner you're going to grow into. So the first thing you can do with having a healthy, strong, successful mindset is to be all in. And that might mean, and that does include telling your friends and your family, your partner, your community, like what you're doing. Let them be excited for you. Let them in. I think that's like an emotional skin in the game. I think the worst thing you could possibly do, and probably a guaranteed kiss of failure, would be just to keep this to yourself and not be excited. But do let them be excited for you. Give yourself that emotional accountability to letting them cheer you on, and also knowing that, letting them know you're doing something, you're getting out of your comfort zone, you're building something special. And then show up every day treating this like a business, treating this like the business that you wanted to grow into, whether that's, you're wanting a business that earns a few hundred or a couple thousand a month, or something that can really create financial freedom. There's no right or wrong one way, but do treat this like a business that of some the caliber you want it to grow into, and show up and work. It doesn't, if it's the last priority, it will never truly flourish. And also the mindset of just expecting that failure is this essential part of growing and succeeding. You will fail. I fail every day. You watched the beginning of this call, like I was fumbling around with my Zoom trying to figure out why I couldn't record. There's big and small failures every single day, and those are going to be what propels you to grow and be a better leader. The second arm of this launching is the vision. Get really clear, and this might take turning out the noise, turning off your device, going internal, journaling, making a vision board, praying, meditating, going on walks outside in nature, whatever it is that gets you really in tune with your heart and your head. But get really clear on the vision you want. This can be as big as you want it to be. It can be as impactful as you want it to be. I want you to take the limiting beliefs and the fears out of your mind when you start to dream, and really get super crystal clear about the lifestyle you want, the quality of life you want, the impact, the team you want to build, the income you want to build. And then start working now to become the person that's going to be ready for those things. Because if you're really clear on it, and then you make sure you let people in on what you're excited about, what that vision looks like, it will start to come true. And so I like to give that homework assignment of just getting really clear on what that, and it doesn't mean that it'll happen in the next couple weeks, but it will continue to grow, especially. So I say, take that magic wand and what would be that dream vision for your life look like? And then it's the third arm is just to get to work. It isn't, like I said, a one-time action, or just a one day line in the sand. A launch is a long series of compounded behaviors. It could be and we're going to talk through in today's training of what that will look like, what that could look like, and really dig into what has really worked for several leaders in different ways. But that starts with posting, sharing up on social media, a launch post, or what sometimes we call a grand opening post. It can look like an informational and an experiential group where people are plugging into a private group to get information. It can be home parties or pop-up events, using trial kits. It does definitely mean getting in your inbox and talking to people and building relationships and connecting. Building your own skill set. So doing trainings and knowledge, going through the knowledge center, doing the formulator calls, going through our resource library of our team trainings to build your competence, because competence builds confidence, and then just having fun. So we're going to dig into what some of these specific execution components look like. All right. And what this means in action, so that you can start to put yourself into these women's minds and experiences, and start to paint a picture of what this would look like for you in action. Does that sound good? So we're going to start with Michelle. Michelle File is one of our, if you missed the opportunity call this week with her and Kelly, it was phenomenal. And she's one of our top Canadian leaders in just 21 days. And they've been doing some pretty incredible things. I was going to pull the stats of how many people are on your team, Michelle, but you have to include that. And I'm going to spotlight you and let you take it away from here.
Thank you. Hey guys, thank you, Jamie. Thank you so much for asking me to be here when I'm only 21 days old. It's very exciting that you trust me. So yes, this has been a wild and just such a joy-filled 21 days for myself and for everyone that's come into our team. It's just been so much fun. So I'm excited to share what we kind of decided to do in October. So 4 people, we banded together and decided to grow our team together. So we did have a lot of collaboration and just sort of thinking through how can we make the most of November 1st. So we definitely had a very unique situation. All the stuff that happened in October actually enabled us to sort of get prepared for November 1st when we could bring people in. So the first thing that we did is we created a lot of excitement and sort of FOMO around our launch. And I don't think you need to have a specific launch day to do that. You can do that at any point in time. But one thing that we told all the people that wanted to come and join us on November 1st. So I'm Canadian, so we didn't have a choice. We all had to wait until November 1st to join. So we started creating some of this FOMO. And one of the posts that we encouraged everyone to post was our launch post. And it was just one of those sticker slides that you write words on Facebook. And we're like, I'm doing something really exciting tomorrow. I'm kind of nervous. Stay tuned, ... That's all it was. And everybody was posting that on their Facebook feeds and in their stories. And it was encouraging a lot of conversation. So the people that knew and love and trusted them already were asking in the comments, well, what is it? Don't keep us waiting. What is it? And that allowed everybody to start talking to people about Hugh and Grace in the message box, which I think that's where our businesses are built. We create excitement on our feeds, but we actually kind of seal the deal in our message box. So that was one thing that we did. And then another thing that we did to create simple sharing and connection was asking for feedback. So being very truthful. This is brand new for me, and I had not tried the products. I wasn't really sure about the website. I wasn't really sure about anything. So I asked people that I trusted that had been followers of mine for many, many years. I asked them to go look at the website. And could you just go take a peek? This is a brand new business. I would love to see if you would be interested in these products. Is this something that you would want to purchase? What excites you the most? What do you think of the prices? So I was just really asking for feedback. And that truthfully helped get a lot of people saying, oh my gosh, well, if you're going to try this, I want to try it too. So that was sort of the first thing that we encouraged was lots of excitement, jumping on your stories or creating a post on social media or talking in real life to people about the truth that you were just excited about this opportunity and why. Why were you excited to join this mission-based company? Why are you saying yes before you've even been able to sign up or get products? We actually have people that still haven't got their products because there's just been like lots of shipping coming to Canada, but they're still out there talking and they're just really sharing why they're so excited. The next thing that we did was collaborate with each other and created community really early. So anyone that had said to us that they were thinking about signing up as an advocate or they wanted to be a customer, we actually bundled everyone up into a message thread. And we created this community, this new Hugh and Grace team. We created this community really quickly and early before anyone could sign up. So people were already starting to feel that connection. I think that's one of the best things about network marketing. I mean, I bet everyone would agree. You meet your best friends, you have such supportive relationships. And we talk about that a lot in our social media, that these people we trust the most, and I love hanging out with these people. We wanted to get that community created really early. So friendships were starting to form before we were even advocates, to be honest. So that collaboration with each other, if you can find a couple of people, like if you're brand new and you just started last week, if you can find a couple people that feel this passionate about this mission and this company, and you can build this together, that is like the best thing ever, to do it as a group. And then the third thing we did, and I think this is super duplicatable for everyone, is we created what we call an ATM interest info group. So it quickly gets people connected to information. I think if you maybe go to the next, can I do the slides or you? Okay. So ATM stands for add, tag, and message. And it's a simple system for your whole team to use. Or maybe you don't have advocates yet. Maybe you pair up with other people and create one of these groups. And what the group is, this is ours, the Joy Collective Info Group. It's basically a group filled with different posts about all of the products that Hugh and Grace have. So we literally went onto the website and pulled pictures and information, the key benefits of all the products. If we could find a video to put in the caption, we did that as well. And we had this group filled with all this information. So what we were able to do, as soon as someone expressed interest in something, we did not have to try and be the hormone expert or the expert on these products, which how could we? We hadn't even hardly used them yet. We got them quickly into our info group, tagged them in a post of the product that they were really interested in, and then followed up. So this is a system that as you're building your own team of advocates, that's so duplicatable. When I have someone come in as an advocate and they say to me, what am I supposed to do when someone's interested in something? I'm like, let's go back into your messages and see exactly what I did for you. You expressed interest in a product and I said, awesome, I want to give you more information. Would you mind clicking this link and joining my info group, and I'll tag you in the post about the body oil. So you add the person to the group, you tag them in the post and message them telling them you did so. And then we always train that you follow up no more than 2 days later, just with a simple, hey, just wanted to make sure you saw that information about the body oil. What questions do you have? So that is our ATM info group strategy. And then I think the next slide, I just shared some of the things that we share in the info group, because I don't want you to think it's just this salesy, slimy product group just filled with all Hugh and Grace. We do a lot of things inside the group. Right now, we're actually running a Rise and Thrive challenge. So we decided to run this, I shouldn't call it a challenge, it's a focus group. We're all using the routine together. I don't want to call it a challenge. So every single day there's a post that pops up and we're encouraging people to share their experience of using the routine for their first time. But we are also giving them just really simple tips, hormone supportive tips every single day. So there's lots of value in the group, but there's a product post and video, if there's a video to go with every single product. So it's very simple. When I have someone that comes and says, I'm really interested in the night serum, I can just give them the link to the group and tag them in the night serum post, and they can read about it themselves. The business info, we have an opportunity call in there. So we have lots of people that are interested in being an advocate. We just bring them into this group, tag them under this video, the Seasons of Change video, and then we follow up with them in a couple days. We also do recognition in that group. So one of the reasons we love this group is we know as people in business that it takes 8 to 12 exposures to things to get people to say yes. They're not going to say yes on that first time. So when we have them bundled and huddled into this interest group, and we're constantly giving value and serving in the group, but also sharing exciting recognition, and there's lots of activity in the group, we know that these people are going to keep seeing this group. So for example, if someone was interested in the body oil 7 weeks ago, and now today they see that the body oil is a Black Friday special, it triggers them to remember, hey, I was going to get some of that. This is an amazing time. So it's keeping everybody that's been interested in something in one place so we can continue to serve them, and hopefully they'll become our customers. And that's really what worked. That's what's working for us right now in 21 days. But I am so excited to hear about all the other ways that you get to build this business.
Thank you, Michelle. That was so great. And yeah, I agree. I absolutely duplicatable, and what a fun thing to do as a team together. Shelly is up next. And Shelly has had so much success building offline. In addition to some online, but specifically she's in both. But she's specifically going to talk through some of these amazing ways that she's built completely off social media, and how she's used social media to support those offline efforts. So, Shelly, if you want to introduce yourself real fast and take it away, so glad to have you.
Hello, everybody. I'm super excited to be here to share. Sometimes I get on a ramble and I start talking fast, so just bear with me. Um, so I actually, when I joined Hugh and Grace, I actually spent some time really getting to know the products and, falling in love with the products before I decided that I was going to actively sell within the company. So, after a while of using them, I'm like, okay, I absolutely love the company. I love the ingredients. I love the way that they perform. So then I decided I was going to dive in with everything. So there's been a few different ways that I have built my business, one being farmers markets. I also, which is my absolute favorite thing to do, is to host spa nights. It is so fun. And I know it sounds super scary to host an event or do, in-person events. They're actually super fun. And I surprised myself by diving into something that made me super nervous. And then if I'm not focusing on either a farmer's market or a spa night, then I am using that time. Like if I don't have anything going on for that month, I'm using that time on my social media, in my Facebook groups. And I kind of just treat my social media just like I would, an event. I run group. I have a Facebook group where I'll run, fun challenges, and I just treat it like a way I would as an event. So, if you want to go to the next slide. So a little bit on my farmers market. So I host here in town. I've also been asked, I've been noticed by other farmers market as well. And people have reached out to me and like, hey, do you want to come to our town and host at our farmers market as well? Because people who come to farmers markets, they love the ingredients in our products. So I kind of set up my little table. Whenever I have my little table set up, I know that it can be, when you're first getting started, you're kind of nervous about investing in having a ton of product on hand, and you really don't have to have a ton of product on hand. For me personally, I mostly just stock up. I have a couple of my top selling products. So for me, that's usually the body polish, the body oil, and also the home care set, and then the base sets. I sometimes stock up on that as well. I just have a couple of each on hand. Um, I make sure that as far as payments go, I do have a Square app set up. So that way I can take transactions. People like to pay with their debit cards. So I have that set up. And then if I always bring my tablet along with me as well, just in case, somebody wants to purchase something right then and there. And if I do not have it on hand, then I bring my tablets. I help them set up an account, and then I also help them order right then and there. Um, Most of the time you can hand out cards, but if you don't help them, order right then and there, they're most likely probably not going to come back and order later on. I have that happen very minimal amount of times. So make sure you have that tablet just in case. And then there's some times whenever I, bring my tablet and you get the elderly lady that comes in and she wants the home care set, but she doesn't know her email address, or maybe she doesn't have, she just struggles with that. You never know what the Wi-Fi is going to be like sometimes. So if the tablet thing doesn't work out, I brought visuals for you guys so you can see. I think these are posted in our group, but I use these order forms. So you can collect all of their information. You can collect their name, address, phone number, and the bottom of these sheets also has their credit card information. Believe it or not, people do not mind filling one of these out, and they don't mind giving this information to you. So if none of those work out for you, you always have that paper form for backup. And then, so whenever I set up my table, I always do a gift card giveaway, which is a $25 gift card. And then this is what my setup looks like. So I have like my little box, and then I have this little raffle thing that I printed out, and I kind of set it in the box. And then I have this little card that says $25 gift card. And I set that on my table, and everybody that comes to my table, I always make sure that I tell them like, hey, I'm doing a giveaway. Make sure you sign up for it. I ask them to write down either their phone number or their email address so I can contact them. And then this is my 2-year-old. poked holes in it, but this is my giveaway from my last spa night. Um, so it has that. And then it also has an area on here that I said, would you like to be notified regarding future sales or promos? So that way, that gives me permission in the future. If we have sales and stuff, I can follow up with the customers. The nice thing about these, like this is my main goal. My main goal is to get as many people signed up on this sheet as I can. And because what I like to do is I always do the $25 giveaway gift card, but I also message every single one of those people on my list and I say, hey, you didn't win the $25 gift card, but I have a $10 gift card for you. Every single month with Hugh and Grace, if you hit a certain number in sales, which I make it a goal personally to hit 1,000 PV every month because I get those free product credits and I use those for gift cards for my customers. So one person gets the $25 gift card and then the rest of them, I purchase a couple of other $10 gift cards and I email them the next day and I say, hey, you didn't win the $25 gift card, but I have a $10 gift card for you. I give them the code to the gift card and then I also give them my link to my Facebook group so they can join my Facebook group if they want to. So the main thing is collect information, just make sure you're getting those emails. And I also, another tip for you is I also make sure that I take a notebook with me. So that way I can kind of keep, a little note, like let's say Diane comes to your table and she is interested in the home care set because, her daughter is about to have a baby in a couple of months, but she doesn't purchase. I like to make a note of what they're interested in and then I like to make a note of why they're interested in it as well. So that way, when I follow up with them with that gift card offer, I get to say, hey, like you didn't win that gift card. Here's your $10 gift card. If you want to purchase that home care set, here's the link. So we can get you that, cleaning set before your new grandbaby comes. So that way you have that leverage within that message as to reminding them like what they wanted and why they wanted it. And then I do always, I think this picture was taken before I set up, but I do bring a picture with, and I put in the watermelon hydrate detox, and then I put in the lemon hydrate detox. And then I just have like these little sample cups that they can use to kind of taste it. And then if they're super interested, then I also have these sample packs that I make. Within the sample packs, you can do however many you want, but sometimes I do a pack of the 3 of the collagen and then 3 of the hydrate detox. Sometimes I do a pack of 4. And then I put my business card with a QR code and I sell these at the farmer's market as well. That's what you see in the middle of the table there. And as far as my spa night goes, this is my favorite. This is my jam. So I actually do a collaboration with an esthetician and a hairstylist, and we get together and we created it. This one here in particular, it's at a spa. I mean, it's at a coffee shop, and they have wine there as well. And so we host, we call it a ladies spa night. The ladies, they come in, they drink wine. We run this event for free. And, the amount of product that I use for this event really doesn't even compare to what I make back in sales. So what we do is, so like the esthetician, she'll do mini facials. I will do mini hand massages. And then the esthetician, she'll do hair tensile. And then, so for the customers, they'll come in. They usually come in groups with their friends. They'll come in and they'll sit down around this round table. I have these glass bowls that I purchased from Walmart and I fill them with a little bit of warm water. They sit down. This actually last spa night, I was able to offer them the body polish. Either they get the Winter Wonderland or the Blue Tansy. I give them a little bit of the body polish and then I have them wet their arms all the way up to their elbows. And then I give them their I use these little sticks that are these little wooden sticks to kind of pull out the body polish. I give them some of the body polish and I let them rub it in, and then I let them feel it, smell it, rub it in up to their elbows, and then I have them rinse that off. And then after they rinse it off, I hand them, so in a crock pot, I place little washcloths. I wet them with warm water. I put them in the crock pot and then they get nice and warm in there. So afterwards, I hand a towel and I let them wipe off some of that excess body polish. And then at the very end, I go around the table and I do a one-on-one hand massage all the way up to their elbows with the body oil. And the ladies love it. It's so much fun. Like I just sit down with them. I go around the table. We just chit chat. We talk. Um, when it comes to these spa nights, I don't go in, like I go in with a goal, but I don't go in thinking like this is going to be a super educational experience. I go in and make sure that it's just a fun night where the ladies can get treated. Um, as far as like, I don't go in thinking I'm a hormone health expert or I'm an expert with these products. The only thing that I talk about during this night is usually just, hey ladies, let's start paying attention to the ingredients of the products that we're putting on our body. It's very important that you know about that. And the reason why that I teach that is just because that's what I'm passionate about. Um, but other than that, it's just a really super fun event um, that I host. And then again, I do the same thing with the $25 gift cards for giveaways. And then another tip that I have for you on this middle picture on the right-hand side, as you can see, I've got a couple of the sample packets out for the Hydrate Detox and the collagen. When it comes to handing out samples, make sure you're getting their contact information. I personally like to say, hey, like I didn't bring enough for the nights or whatever. If you want to write down your address, I'll send you one by mail. And then I tell them, make sure you write down your phone numbers so I can make sure that you get your products. And the reason why I do that is because if you just hand out samples to people throughout the night and you don't keep track, they're most likely not going to come back and purchase. You don't have a way to follow up with them. So you don't know who has what. And I feel like it's not worth the investment of me just handing them out randomly. So I do that. And then as far as my display goes, I like to group things together. I like to keep it very festive, like Christmas is around the corner. So, over here, I make sure that I had, my skincare set all together. I had my home care set all together, and then I had my face set all together with a mirror. So that way people can, smell it. They can use the face serums if they want to put it on their face and use it. And then I have product forms, which look like these that I set on the table. These product forms have the ingredients, the benefits, and then I also add my QR code here on the corner. So that way, if they want to just scan it and purchase right there, they can. And then lastly, as far as social media goes, like I said, if I'm not busy, mainly I look back at my past, my PV, and I looked back and I was like, okay, what my best selling months happen to be the months where I either do farmers market or I do a spa night. Those are my best PV months. If I'm not, that's my main focus within my business. But if I'm not busy and I don't have anything to do, I will utilize my social media. And I always show up on social media. I have a separate Instagram page that is specifically for my Hugh and Grace business. That's just a personal preference for me. I like having a community where people are there and they want to see information about clean ingredients and hormone health. So I do run everything on a separate Instagram page. The nice thing about that is it shares to my Facebook like page. For whatever reason, my Facebook like page ends up being a place where people from my spa night ends up following that page. I don't know how they find it, but they do. And then as far as what to post on social media, I just use a calendar. just like a notebook, calendar, and I just map out what's going on for the month with Hugh and Grace in the business. And then just kind of like Michelle said, I have a Facebook group that I have, a community where I am adding people who are interested, my customers, people who I meet at, farmers markets and events. I add everybody to that Facebook group. And sometimes I do fun things in there like challenges. Um, I always do a monthly gift card. So anybody who's new that joins my Facebook group goes into a drawing for a gift card. And then any of the members that are in there and they refer a friend to my page, that they also go into the drawing for a gift card. My main focus in the Facebook group is just to educate, add value, and just have fun in there. So any questions?
Shelly, these were such amazing fun tips. I love all of this. Someone had a quick question and then we're gonna go to Jamie Schmidt next, but how much did you sell these trial kits at the farmer's market for?
So for the trial kits, what I would suggest to do is if you are purchasing under your own account, as far as what I like to do is like I take the price of the hydrate detox like individually, and then the price of the collagen individually, and I personally sell them for the retail price. So that way I'm not losing any money on it. So it kind of just depends whether it's a 3-pack, 4-pack. I math it out onto like how much each pack is. And some people are like, oh, I just want to try 2. So then I'll take some out and hand them, 2 and just charge that much for it. Um I'd have to look at the cost. I can't
That's
really
perfect.
remember exactly the exact price, but I'd have to math it out.
That's perfect. Yep. We can just take the cost retail and divide it by number of packets that are
Mhm.
in the bag and you'll get that price point. So Shelly, that was amazing. Thank you so much for that. I have so many fun ideas just listening to that and you did so great. Jamie Schmidt is gonna talk. So I love how Shelly said that she didn't have to be a hormone health expert. Because we don't. But we also have health professionals that are experts in our community as well. And I think that it's really fun seeing how they build this business as well. And this could be whether this is you or you can find, people in your community and that you're friends with or in your family that would be someone you'd want to reach out to. So Jamie's going to introduce herself and then tell a little bit about how she's built for the last year. She's built an incredible business as a health professional and has even her own practice as a retail space. So Jamie, go ahead and take it away.
Thanks, Jamie. And Michelle and Shelley, those were some really great ideas. I love all that. So I'm gonna, I've done several different things. I also love the in-person events as well. But I'm going to talk today about how you can build your business with Hugh and Grace on the retail side, assigning retail advocates. And I just think that's such an awesome thing that we can do here at Hugh and Grace that you can't always do other places in network marketing. So, it's a great way to take advantage of that. So how I kind of started with it is I'm a pharmacist and I practice retail pharmacy for 20 plus years, and recently kind of got burnout on that and went to look for something else that I was passionate about. And so I have a physician partner, and we opened a weight loss and wellness clinic here in the town that I live in. And we do weight loss injections, but then we also do hormone health counseling. I became certified in hormone health as well, and we're just kind of working on adding more of the integrative health practices into our practice. And so basically, how it kind of started was I had actually shown my partner the Hydrate Detox, and I was like, "Here, take this." He was going to Hawaii. I'm like, "Take this on your trip." And he absolutely loved it. And he said, and he was taking Monjaro which is one of the weight loss medications that we use, the active ingredient basically. And he was using it for his own diabetes diagnosis. And he's just like, we have to make this a non-negotiable with our product to kind of set us apart from some of the other online facets that are out there. And so we actually make our the hydrate detox non-negotiable with our weight loss package, because we think it is so beneficial on the line of side effects, and then also detoxifying the body with the glutathione and the pre and probiotics as you're kind of healing your gut and losing the weight. So we have made that a non-negotiable. And so that was kind of how we started. But I also keep, you can kind of see there, that is a picture kind of a little bit older because I've added more of our products. But basically, now we have like the triple boost. I mean, I have the cacao here and more of the skin line. But, you know, since then, you know, with weight loss and all that, and my hormone health, the collagen has been another really popular one. The triple boost has been really popular here at my clinic. And then anyway, so basically how we started, I mean, you know, as an advocate, and maybe you don't know that much about it, but as an advocate, you can enroll small businesses at retail establishments to your business and to join your team. And basically, it's really nice because those retail advocates can generate a lot of income. They can, you know, hundreds, thousands of personal volume every month. And that equates to you then your organizational volume increasing. And as we know, or if, you know, as you're still learning, to achieve and maintain those leadership levels in Hugh Grace, you do have to have that volume. And so it's a nice way to add it. And then also you can earn bonuses on those sales, which is just more earnings for you. And so we can go to the next slide now, Jamie. So how do you, if you wanted to approach retailers, how do you do that? And so it is just another really amazing thing, I think, that we have here at Hugh Grace. But what you can do, and kind of what I do is just identify places where I spend money. And that could be spas, yoga studios, gyms, estheticians, salons, weight loss clinics, anything like that you're spending money that you think that these products might fit well into. And then and you know, functional medicine places are also another really great place, offices like that, if you can talk to those people. And you know, what you do is you just kind of reach out to them, whether it's phone call or if you want to stop in person, and try to set up a meeting. And then when you set up that meeting, you want to make sure that obviously you're very knowledgeable about the products, but then you also do research on the establishment that you're visiting and try to kind of tailor the products that you're going to focus on to what they offer there. So if it's a gym, it might be more of the hydrate detox. If it's an esthetician, it might be more of the skincare line. But again, just make sure that you're really knowledgeable on those products. And then also make sure you're bringing along the retail cost sheet. Typically it's about a 30% discount for them to buy it. And then they just, you know, they can make money then on the back end there. And what's nice is in the Hugh Grace back office, they do have a whole retail opportunity guide, which kind of goes, they have sample phone calls in there. They have sample emails that you can send out. And it's just really in like different ways to, like, maybe if you have objections, different ways to handle that. And so I would definitely go check that out if you're thinking about doing this. And then and so basically, and there is also your price sheet. And so that's really nice to take along as well, so they can kind of see what they stand to gain as well. And then when you're there, just make sure that you're kind of offering them as much support as they want. And so you might offer to train their staff on the products. You may offer to help them with the inventory, making sure that they never run out. Helping them order and replenish. And then some important notes that you kind of want to include when you're talking to them is they can kind of display our products, you know, any way that they want to. So we don't have any like specific rules that they have to follow. And then also, they don't have to keep a certain inventory on hand or even sell a certain amount of inventory every month. And you just have to buy this initial package. And then once that's purchased, you can just you can replenish that as little or as much as you want to within your month. So I think that was kind of all I wanted to cover. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer those as well.
I think this was all incredible, and what a fun, like, is anyone getting like so excited with just their wheels spinning and all the different ways you can launch and grow this business? And I love that we have some really great representation of what to do online and offline. And I don't see any questions for you right now, Jane, but if I see them pop up, we'll circle back if we have a minute at the end. And Jamie Pfeiffer's gonna round us out today. Jamie, I sent you a text. Did you see it? And let's get her going. Hold on just a second. Go ahead, Jamie, introduce yourself and take it away.
Okay, sorry, I'm reading the text. Okay, and sorry, excuse me, I've had a cold, so my voice is a little raspy, but I am the old timer here. Jamie Schmidt is actually signed under me, and then we have her spot under there. And I want to stress the importance of the volume that that brings in, because that account, her spa or her wellness clinic, brings in so much volume every single month. So now, like, I feel like after a year in the business, and I'll go through all the stuff in a sec, my warm market, all these people here is slowing down. So my main focus right now, like tomorrow I'm meeting with a Pilates studio. I just reached out to an IV clinic because I feel like this is the perfect product, Hydrate Detox, to sell their people coming in for IVs to use when they're at home. And I've had a lot of fun with that because I was in outside sales for 12 years before I was at Beachbody for 12 years, and I missed that in person. So on that note, when I started a year ago, I had to do this basically undercover for 2 months because it took forever to get my business transferred. And I think that's the biggest gift I was given, because 12 years into the business, to be totally honest, I had gotten lazy, and I thought if I put a post up, they will come. And I had a pretty large team, and I had really stopped pushing and talking to people. I just figured if they need me, they come, they know what I do, they know this is what I've done for 12 years, I'm here. And I was not running my business the way I had the first few years when I was fired up and passionate and getting in front of people. And I was always thinking, how can I get the most eyes on my product? And I had really stopped pushing myself. So for those 2 months, I loved that I could not post on social media because I was flat out burnt out. So I want you guys, if you're in that space whatsoever, if you feel like you have become white noise on social media, which I felt like that with my last company, I needed a moment to take a step back and go back to grassroots of just talking to people in person and reaching out to people in person and not relying on social media. So imagine social media is completely taken away from you to run your business. How would you run it? Because that's what I had to do for 2 months. So what I did, and I still, it's my organization system, but I have this stack of loose leaf papers, and I pretty much still take it with me everywhere because I add to it, I'll make notes on it. But I made separate lists on every sheet. Clients who are super into holistic nutrition would really resound with this from my last company. Friends of mine going through perimenopause who I know are struggling. Friends of mine who I know grow their own food because I know they're really into holistic and they care what's going on in their body. I had all of these separate lists, and I just started reaching out. And all I did was simply say in a voice memo, hey, I can't talk about this outwardly yet, but I have made a shift in my career. I've gone back to school to be an NTP, and I was in school at the time, nutritional therapy practitioner. And I said, and I found this company that I believe in the mission. I love what they stand for. I love the products. Please let me know if I can either send a voice memo with more information or if we can get on the phone. Now, some people did not want to get on the phone. They just wanted a quick 3-minute voice memo. So I recorded this and I wrote it out. And I wrote it out the first couple times, and I practiced it. And then I recorded it as a Facebook voice memo. And I had it down to 3 minutes exactly, talking about the company and talking about the routine. That was it. And once you have that done, all I had to do was send that. Every time someone's like, oh, give me information, I had that voice memo saved. And I sent it. And I remember when Jamie Schmidt, who spoke just a minute ago, we did the same for her. And I think that's one of the most valuable things you can help your advocates do, is come up with like an elevator pitch, basically. And if anybody ever wants to see that first one, I'm missing so many points in it, but I knew enough to be dangerous. But I helped her write out one. And invaluable because now she has this 3-minute voice memo quickly about Sarah and Ben, the mission of the company, and why the routine is so effective, third-party testing, blah. So once you have that, boom, 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 sending out. So like I said, lists was very important to me. I did like a couple pop-in nights. A lot of my friends, I live on an island, they were like, oh, we can't all make one time. I pick up from dance. I'm picking up from here. And I said, hey, my house will be open from 5 to 9. There will be wine and hummus and snacks. Stop by and let me explain the science of each of these lines. Something I really love, and this is something free that you can do. So I used to be a member of BNI 10 years ago, but I had to stop doing it because I could not make the meetings because of my daughter's preschool schedule. Well, that's still the reality for me is that every other week, when I don't have my children, I can make it. If I have the kids, I cannot physically get them to school and to the meetings. But with BNI, I want you guys to search this up. You can go to any meeting, any chapter near you free. You can go to that meeting free. I would say either 2 to 3 times. You don't have to commit. And I know there's 11 chapters in my area. So I went to one 2 weeks ago. I got so many great contacts. A woman who does life coaching, we already met, a massage therapist who wants to meet, and a chiropractor. I made all these great connections, and I'm going to go one more time next week. And then I'm going to start visiting all these other chapters. Because when I got up and spoke, every person was nodding their head in agreement of like, yes, yes, yes. And all these women were coming up to me after like, I'm in perimenopause. I'm in perimenopause. Let's meet. Give me your contact. So just easy, free ways to meet more people. Because that's truly what it is networking. But I think we've taken it from the way we started 12 years ago, which was truly networking and in person, to relying on social media. And I have the tendency to get burnt out on social media, but I get energy and my cup is filled when I sit down with someone and I talk about it in person or I get on the phone. You can hear my excitement, and I'm going to close that deal 10 out of 10 times in person where maybe it's not coming off the way I want it to in a message or following up with them, So sample kits, I did these for probably the first 6 or 8 months all the time. So I'd pick once a month, and it would usually, I think I did always the first week of the month because I didn't want to affect my sales, like closing out deals from at the end of the month. So as soon as that 31st happens, I had 7 hydrate detox in mine. I did a bar soap, and I meant to grab these mini vials, but I got these little, you can get 1 or 2 milliliter glass vials off of Amazon. And I put the morning and night serum in there. And again, I just like she said, she mathed it out. Like I looked at my cost, exactly what that cost me. I got a ton of these brown boxes. They fit perfectly in there. I made these little info cards for what Hydrate Detox is. And I believe I sold those, I think it came out to about $40 or $45. And then I also did, I would do those for a week. And then for a couple of days, I would talk about if they just wanted 7 days of Hydrate Detox. Those sample kits were really great because a lot of people are like, I just want to try it for 7 days. I'm not ready to commit. Info groups. I didn't even put anything under there. So I'm glad other people got, sorry, I did this. It's been a wild week. I tried, my point being here is try things that work for you and see if they work or don't. For me, I did an info group once I was allowed to be public. It did not work for me. That does not mean it's not going to work for you. And that doesn't mean if I tried it again, it wouldn't work again. So I have this idea of creating a community, even just for all of our customers who purchase with value every week and things like that. But I have a lot of plans like this. So I just want you guys to be thinking like a business owner. If you owned a retail business, would you only rely on social media to get the word out about your business? No. No. And it's fun to talk to people. But I think the longer I was in my living room for years going, oh, this is so comfy and safe in here in my jammies. But now that I'm pushing myself like I was when my business was truly exploding, the last time I am doing stuff that scares the out of me, and it feels so good afterwards. Because right before, every time, like I went to that last BNI meeting, I'm like, oh, I should tell her I have a stomach ache. I don't know. But afterwards, I was like, I'm so proud of myself. I just made so many connections. And then I sat down with this oil rep I met there, and she's like, I need you to meet the Pure Sweat Sauna. I need you to meet this person. I need you to meet this functional medicine doctor I know. I need you to give you, so because I did that, I'm getting all of these people that I can talk to that I never would have reached on social media. by making one really good connection. So I will stop that there because I get a little excited about it.
I love it, James. I love it. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up here in just a second, but I hope this was enough. I know I saw someone saying I've got so many ideas. My wheels are spinning so fast, the wheels are falling off. Like I love it. And what I will say again, what I said at the beginning is what worked before will probably not work for you here. And if you have really relied on social media as the sole way that you've grown your business and sold for the last however many years, you will have a much slower route to success here if that is the only thing you're relying on. It doesn't mean you don't do it. It just means that I've found and I've seen, and I think we've all kind of said, like, it takes some time to make that pivot and to build up the new interest and to build those exposures to these products and to get people to that point of buying, right? Even I've seen people with, we've got some of our top leaders with really, really viral followings, those ones where you click a link and everyone clamors to it, say the same thing, that it took them time. It took them time for their customer base, their followers to really start to engage and click in those purchasing behaviors for their social media to convert. Does that make sense? Because so they had to still do that, but also holistically, comprehensively fill in all the gaps and try so many different ways. And so if whether you're brand new or you've been here for a minute, I want to challenge you and encourage you to really do get out of your comfort zone. You're going to have so much fun doing it. Growth is fun. Getting uncomfy is fun. It also can be scary as crap, right? But like it'll open up, it'll get, if nothing else, it gets your creativity spinning. And I think a lot of times on social media, we become, we default into just old programming and mindless behaviors. We don't actually think through the why and the how. And we just kind of default into just what feels most familiar, and we're not inspired. We're not being creative. We're not in that really high energy magnetic space, which is what is essential on social media for it to convert. And so getting out of that comfort zone and trying other things, even if it doesn't totally work for you like you envisioned, it will pay off over time. And so, and because it'll get you thinking outside of the box. And I think that that's really fun. And I think that's also really critical. Uh, I will say as far as info groups go, they can be a really great long-term community building space for you to funnel people to, for them to be a place to share value and information. I've had my original info group that I templated. It's in our team Google Drive. Courtney has a template too. And for you to duplicate. But some things I've seen not work with info groups is if it's just solely transactional. I love that Michelle and Shelly both spoke to like how they made those really community based and interactive. If you're familiar with Bob Heilig, he's talked a lot about how this social media space that we're in today, in this season of life, in 2024, 2025, just selling online doesn't convert. It is the relationship piece of it. You have to be showing up and showing who you are as a human, who you are as an individual, why things matter. So in those info groups, Lindsay has a really great training in our spreadsheet too about that, but like show up around other things. Like talk about your family, talk about your kids, talk about your interests, like build some relationships in there. Carry those relationships into the DMs, because it is a one-on-one, it is a one-on-one experience. And then also make sure you've got enough people in there that it's going to continue to like keep growing that info group. If you've heard that expression, you can only shuffle a deck of cards so many times, you're still going to only ever have 4 aces. So I've had people say my info group didn't work. And so I got in there and we looked, there was like 20 people in there. You guys, like it takes 20 invites to 1 yes. So make sure you're going to stack those odds in your favor and continue to add people to that. And I think Michelle was when it said like it takes like up to 12 exposures, right? And so these things take time. And that's where you can like control the time space continuum by adding more energy, more effort, trying all the other things. But the point of all this is that should be really a lot of fun. And this will be something you can continue to do and redo and redo. I have all these ideas now and I'm like, I'm going to relaunch my info group. I'm so excited. Like you can reset at any point in time. And I just want to say thank you to Jamie and Jamie. I love it when we do calls together because it's like the Jamie show, but also thank you to Michelle and Shelly and anyone else that has contributed to a lot of, like, we learn together. We work collaboratively in this team. And so a lot of the things we shared and taught today is because other leaders tried it and they were like, hey, you should try this. So, and it worked. It works differently for each of us. So I appreciate all of the value and leadership our team has. And feel free to send any questions our way. And thank you so much to all of you who came. So a quick question, do you still have bonuses if you sign up as a retailer? So no, retailers are similar to affiliates. They only can earn commissions and sell. They don't earn trips. They don't earn they don't earn any bonuses. They just sell and they just make commission. But if, like, Jamie Schmidt is an advocate and has her practice under her as a retailer, so that's level 1 organizational volume for her under her advocate account, because she's also building this for herself too, us outside of her practice, right? And so then she's under Jamie Pfeiffer, as Jamie Pfeiffer just said. So now it's level 2 organizational volume is Jamie Schmidt's Med Spa. So that's how that kind of works. And then retailers will get 30% off. So they buy not really wholesale, but like a wholesale price, 30% off, and then they can mark up to retail price on their own, and then so that's where they, like Jamie whoever buys in their practice, they'll just take that payment through however else people buy things in their clinic, right? Because she's going to collect the commissions on the business side of that. So, and yeah, we can, it sounds like it might be a possibility for you, Maggie. So reach out to one of us or your upline, and we can talk through what that might look for you. So, okay, I know we went a little over. We started a little late, so having tech issues, but I'm so excited to see how you guys launch and relaunch and just, really make this a year-long project for you. And just know that it'll continue to grow as long as you just keep trying. So have fun, and thank you, and have a great day. Thank you, ladies, for so much value. You're amazing.